welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is a customer guitar that somebody brought me today to do a full setup on and a little repair on. It is a Fender Telecaster 1969 reissue. Pretty nice guitar. It's solid mahogany. It's chambered out, so it's nice and ultra light. So let's just go ahead and get right into this. It's a little bit different than your standard traditional Telecaster. Hold on just a sec, everyone. Forgot to change my title. There we go. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, again, customer guitar dropped off today. It is a Fender Telecaster made in Mexico. It's a 1969 reissue. So it's pretty cool. I like it. It's got a full pick guard, kind of like a Strat. So it doesn't have, you know, just the little plate here with the electronics onto it. He said he was having static with it, so we're gonna go ahead and test that out and see what the issue is, and go from there. So let's see what we got. Static so far. Sometimes you gotta coax it a little bit by tapping on stuff, wiggling stuff. I hear a little tiny bit of scratching with the volume pot, but nothing major. Maybe I need to pick it up and play it. So I'm picking it up, I'm shaking it. Interesting. Jiggle the jack, unplug it and replug it in. I don't hear anything. I'm gonna keep doing it until I get the issue, because if it's not that, then he's probably having an issue with his cord or his own amp. I mean, I'll still take it apart and I'll clean the contacts and everything. Well, that is quite interesting. I'm not getting the issue he said he was having. I'm still gonna take it apart and see what the jiffy is, and go from there. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and detune it and see what's see what we can get with it. I don't know. So yeah, interesting. We'll see. We'll just have to see and leave it at that. You can go from there, you know. Yeah. Okay, so we put my nifty little string retainer on it, and set the strings to the side, or back, or wherever. We'll just continue to see what the issue is. I need to flip it over because I need to do the neck. Interesting that it's not doing the, I'm not able to duplicate the problem, but I'm still going to look into it. So again, this is a Fender Telecaster 1969 reissue. Pretty cool guitar. I actually have several of these, so they're pretty neat. Pretty darn cool. Continue to see what this is and go from there. Put the camera back, I'm sorry. Okay.
Are you all right?
What is this ship?
You're on board the USS Enterprise,
A war vessel?
a Federation starship.
Federation?
We were orbiting Angosia when escaped from Unit 5.
Oh, it seems that I am the victim of my own bad timing. Are you the keeper of this
I'm Diana Troy, ship's counselor.
counselor? Too bad. I'd rather you were the jailer to keep company during my return trip. I assume we are returning to Unit 5.
Okay, let's take off the knobs.
To get out of their castle. Capable of
I
doing as well.
think
That's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Even to me.
Do they mistreat you there?
Not at all. Are you comfortable? Well fed and housed? The amphibians take good care of their prisoners. Never being able to leave.
so. Again, this is a pretty cool guitar. This is a customer guitar, not my guitar. Just dropped it off today. He said he was having static issues with everything, with this, everything. He said. Of course, we just plugged it in. You just heard me play on it for a good 5 minutes and no issue. So I don't know yet. We'll just have to see. Looks like somebody's had this pick guard off before because there's a screw missing. It's not actually missing; it's in the case. But we'll see what's going on up in here. Neat guitar, though. I like this guitar.
Why are you doing this?
He's a Telecaster guy, Telecaster aficionado. He said he likes Telecasters. He said he might even be interested in one of mine for sale. So I'm curious to know what's going to happen with this guitar. If everything checks out with it, I might tell him, because I do take trade-ins, so I'll tell him I'd take this as trade-in on one of my other Telecasters.
It's hard to describe.
I know it'll be good because I just worked on it. It's got a few nicks and bumps. He fit strap locks on it, and he said the strap locks never worked, so when he would go, they would just come off and they would bang up against the guitar. So the guitar's got a bunch of little nicks, well, not a bunch, but it's got a few little nicks on the guitar, courtesy of the strap lock, unfortunately. So he said he wasn't really happy at himself about that. Or he didn't say that, but he indicated that. But at any rate, we'll see. This helps if I get all the screws off. Just a little bit. Excuse me. Okay, why is it still I forgot another screw. I didn't see it. It's pretty rare I forget a screw. Kind of camouflaged itself. Now it's loose. Crazy thing. Okay, now let's lift this puppy out. Ooh, it is definitely sun faded or light faded. You can see where the outline of the pick guard. So the guitar is actually lightened up over the years. It's not an old guitar. This is September 18th of 2000. So it's 2000. Wow, it's 19 years old already. Wow, that's quite old. Let me make sure I'm reading that right. September 18th, 2000. Well, that's when the pickguard was made. Sometimes the pickguard will not coincide with the date of the guitar and the date of any of the other parts on the guitar, for that matter. But it does look like really good pickguard's original. I'm going to take a picture with the pickguard off. Just because this is a customer guitar, and if anything goes wrong, like if I accidentally do something to the guitar, you know, then I have proof that I either made a mistake and did something to his guitar, or I didn't. Like if, say, there was a big scratch right here, a customer could come along and say, well, you put that scratch on there. I want $500 for my guitar. So I always take pictures before, during, and after a customer guitar. Always, without fail. It protects me, it protects the customer. And I'm going to very carefully take some pictures of the pickguard. Okay, so we just check all these solder connections, all that good stuff. Yeah, we check all the solder connections. Got some factory wax on there from when they polished it. That's the thing that always kind of gets me about guitars, when they polish these on a great big wheel, about that big, polishing wheel, and they leave a lot of their polish or wax behind. There's a bunch of it in the cavity right here, you can see. I know it's hard to see, but down the tip of my finger, there's a lot of old factory wax. I like to go along and take all that out, just because that's me. Sometimes you can find another date on a guitar, so that's always good. We'll check these pots out too, make sure everything is good. And these are the type of pots that you can lubricate. So I'll probably lubricate, just put like a half a drop of lubricate down the shaft. And then we'll check the capacitor, and we'll check all the connections and all that good stuff. So, got a rag here. I can wipe off some of the excess of the old lube that they use. Okay, so looks like all the solder connections are good. They're hard soldered. I'll probably clean the contacts of the switch a little bit, and we'll make sure all that's copacetic. So it's a three-way switch. So I'll get a little tiny. Now let me see. You know what? I'm just going to use my little Scotch-Brite and clean up the contacts on the Switch on the switch. On the switch.
Call 1-800-789-6025 today.
Olay Ultra Moisture Body Wash gives skin the nourishment it needs and keeps it there longer with modern moisture technology. Skin is hell smooth because your best skin starts with Olay.
Okay, that looks all agreeable. I gotta get a new thing of Scotch Brite. So, yeah, I'm not seeing any issues readily. They really need to, factories need to clean out their residual polishes and waxes, I think. That's just me. Maybe I'm nutty that way, I don't know. Today's show is brought to you by, you can see on my shirt, Guitar Center of Glendora, California. Okay, so again, we'll double check everything. I'll put this back just for a second. And we'll kind of check the jack. That's what I'm meaning to say. Nope, I'm not gonna.
He committed no crime. He says he was ordered to his license. When the first soldiers returned from Reissue, they had trouble. The rules changed to clear a large territory could result in murder.
Did no one try to adjust their program?
They were just exiled and unified.
That's a little loose. Just a little.
What do you want? Am I disturbing you? Yes. But I believe. No, wait. I heard about this. Why do you have yellow eyes? I have an Android. I believe you and I have something in common. Yes.
Okay, Jack is all agreeable.
Yes, you've been talking to counselor. It is not at all the same, Android. I do not mean to belittle you. I understand your dilemma, but I'm curious. My program can be altered. Yours cannot. The man I was is still inside me, but this conditioning has been imposed. Woven together with my thoughts and my feelings and my responses. How do you separate the program from the man? Without further analysis of your condition from Counselor Troy or Dr. Crusher, I cannot say. But I believe it is possible. Yeah, doctors. The Angosian doctors did this to me.
And this is just a very standard switch.
We cannot answer that.
I don't see anything wrong with the switch, so.
Yet I ask myself that every moment of every day.
Interesting.
Captain, what this man has been telling you is full of The soldiers were resettled by 1 to 5, which is to be their colony. Was it
Yeah.
resettled by their choosing?
Funny.
For their own protection
Okay.
as well as that of
Alright, well, you know, I just don't see anything readily wrong with it. In terms of what he said the issue that he was having. So I'm at a little bit of a loss. I mean, he did say he wanted me to do a full setup on it, so it's not like I have to stop and give him the guitar back and tell him he's got no problem. So, there is that. I'll bend the tab on the jack a little bit, so it's a little nice and tight. And yeah, we will just continue on, you know. Yeah. We'll go ahead and do the frets and fretboard. I'll just leave that like this. And then we'll do the frets and fretboard. Take my before picture. The frets and fretboard are pretty good, so. So we're gonna knock that out pretty quick, I think. Huh. Yeah, well. This is going to go by real fast because it is a polished neck. So, factory polished. I mean, it's just, you know, shiny and slick, so is what I'm saying. So this is going to go by real fast and easy. Whoa. Okay, whoops. See what it looks like after. Still dirty, even though it's a polished neck. Oh man. Wow. Look at that. always amazes me. I mean, always. Again, these necks are really easy to do because they're already, you know, polished surface, shiny surface. You know, they don't have a wooden porous surface. So they're very easy to complete. We'll see how I'm going to be done here in just a minute here. I'm already halfway done with the getting in between like I always do. Still dirty, but not so dirty. There you have it, done. See how fast that was? That was Johnny on the spot fast. And after picture. Oh yeah, you can always tell it before and after. You know what, that's one of the faster jobs I've done. 45. Wow, that only took me 5 minutes. As you guys know, some necks take me half hour because they're so bad and so raw and so dirty. I'm happy with the way this is going so far. The customer's going to be happy too, so there is that aspect of it.
If you have Medicare, listen up. Medicare alone only covers 80% of your costs, leaving you to pay the rest. Changes to Medicare are no laughing matter. If you don't know the plans available now, you might end up with a doctor you're not so comfortable with. Or even worse, being forced to pay thousands in medical expenses due to coverage limitations. That would be how much?
I'm going to go get some Christmas, I don't know what, Christmas, we have so many treats left over still. Christmas cookies and Christmas candies and Christmas cakes and Christmas this and Christmas that. I don't know what to get. I'll get something though. Probably some cookies, maybe a piece of candy. I just dropped a piece of solder on the floor. And now I gotta find it. There it is. Not that I ever come in here with bare feet, but if I ever did, I don't want to step on a piece of solder. I think I'm going to have one of these, little marshmallow Santa Claus. Got it for $1. No, I take it back. I got it for 50 cents at Wally World. I'm going to take a quick little break since we're way ahead of time. We're only at 35 minutes. With any luck, I should be able to finish this guitar an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. So that's good. I could start in on that other customer's guitars. So I figured I was going to have 3 hours of labor into this. It looks like I'm not, so far. The frets and fretboard came out really nice. A little bit of fret wear in the first 3 frets, which is typical of pretty much any guitar. So, that being said, Almost dropped that piece of solder again. I'll be right back. I was going to offer a... Okay, well, let's just go ahead and continue on. Start polishing the body and all that good stuff. Alright. Here we go. See if I can lighten up some of the nicks that he said he got. From this dang strap lock, you know. He's kind of kicking himself that he even put strap locks on it, I think. As I would be too. Just for the simple fact that, yeah, strap locks are convenient. You can take your guitar on and off real fast. But if it means possible damage to my guitar, I'm not gonna put strap locks on. I don't have very many strap locks on any of my guitars, for that matter. I'm not a big strap lock guy. I don't know. I can take them or leave them. Truth be told, I can take them or leave them. I can take them or leave them. I can really take them or leave them. So we'll just go ahead and I'm not going to take the bridge completely apart because I don't need to. It's just a little bit dusty and I can get 99% of everything just by doing what I'm doing. So you just lift up the thing and you can get under them, you know. I'm not gonna fret too much about the issue that he said he was having because I can't duplicate the problem. So it's more likely than not an issue with his cable or his amp that he's having. Because if I can't duplicate the problem, then it's something on his end. It has to be. That's just plain, pure, and simple. You know, it is what it is, and that's what it is. And for a split second there, I thought the factory protective plastic was still on the pickguard, but it isn't. I was like, the pickguard looks weird. But then I was like, no, okay, well. So like, okay, well. So pretty nice guitar. Like I said, I have several, well, I have quite a few of these actually, that are this style. I have the little F-hole here and the full pickguard and all that groovy stuff. They're pretty neat guitars. I like them. Some people don't like them. Some people think they're really not that great. But I like them. I think they're badass, to use my vernacular. They are pretty badass. So yeah, this is solid mahogany. Pretty nice guitars. I like them. That's why I have as many as I do. Again, this is not my guitar. This is a customer's guitar that dropped this off to me this afternoon. He said he was having issues with static on everything, to use his words. But I can't find any problem. I did lubricate the shafts on the pots, and I checked all the solder connections. I did clean the contacts on the switch. But other than that, I do not see any problems or issues with the electronics at all in any way, shape, or form. In fact, when he comes here, I'm going to hook up an amp to it and show him, because I don't want him to go home, plug it into his amp, and then he goes, man, you didn't fix the problem, it's still here, when it's actually a problem on his end. And I've actually had that happen to me before, unfortunately. I had that happen to me not too long ago, if you guys remember. The guy who bought the amp from me, box amp, he swore up and down. He swore up and down that, oh no, it's your amp. It was an amp that I sold him. He took it home. He said, no man, static. I bring it in here, hook it up, no static, no problem, no issue. What I did is I traded him a $200 amp. I sold him this $100 Vox amp. So I'm out $300. Well, I'm out $200. Well, I'm out $300 because I paid $100 for the amp. The amp was worth $200, and I took the amp back that I sold him. So he got a $200 amp for $100. So. I emailed the guy, and he said, no harm, no foul. Is there anything I can do for you? And I said, hey, if you want to be a good guy, stop by Papa John's and grab me a double cheeseburger pizza and drop it off. Just to show your appreciation, you know, that I gave you a $200 amp. Because I could have been a you-know-what and just said, screw you. But I didn't. I was trying to make him a happy customer. So I asked him, yeah, if you want to drop me off a pizza. So when I sent him that email, I never heard or saw from him again. So I'm kind of wondering if he kind of fibbed that the amp was bad in the first place to try and get something out of me. Knowing that I have a reputation for doing things like that to customers, that if you are unsatisfied, I will go leaps and bounds out of my way to make it better, if you will, to make it up to you, to make it better. And sometimes being a nice guy, it's like the old saying, nice guys finish last, and it definitely was in that case. Because, you know, I was like, yeah, man, bring me a pizza. That'd be cool of you. Boom, never saw or heard from him again. So, I continue to do it. Nice guys finish last. Like the old adage goes. Nice guys finish last. But every once in a while I will get appreciation back. I've had people bring me that I've sold guitars to, or sold an amp to, or did some work for, and they were so ecstatically happy. They know I'm a foodie, a big food guy, and you know, people will drop me off food. Case in point, I had a guitar guy I did some guitar work for. He had his guitar mounted on his wall. He bumped into it, it fell and cracked the neck off. Boy, was he livid with himself. So I fixed it. He was so happy and so ecstatic with the work that I did for him. He went to a restaurant here that we have called The Hat, and they're a world famous pastrami place. And he bought me, this is above and beyond what I charged him to do the work, which was $100. And he went and he bought $80 worth of pastrami's and beef dips and french fries and onion rings and all kinds of stuff, and he brought it to me unbeknownst to me. He just didn't call, didn't email, he just showed up with it. I'm home 90% of the time, so he knows I'm home, so he just did it. And he did that to me, for me, just to show his appreciation, how ecstatic that he was with the work that I did on his guitar. So every once in a while you get somebody who appreciates your work, and they turn around, they do something nice for you in return. Those kind of people are very few and very far between, but it does happen on occasion. Real good guy. I've done work for him before. Unfortunately, he moved to New York this past summer, so I don't do any work for him anymore, unfortunately. Otherwise, he said I would be doing work for him all the time because he's a big guitar collector and whatnot. So he's always needing a little this or a little that done to a guitar. So he was real nice when he did that for me. $80 worth of food. I mean, I ate off that food for like, I think 5 days. Bunch of pastrami sandwiches, beef dips, and roast beef sandwiches, and grilled cheese sandwiches, and tamales. They have a really good array of food there at this restaurant. It's called The Hat, and they're world famous pastrami's here. So, real nice guy. I was ashamed to see him leave. I've actually bought guitars from him too, and he's bought guitars from me. A real nice guy. Real nice guy. So, yeah. Excuse me.
They're your brothers, your sons.
Okay, why is that?
There are methods of treatment. Until you try them, how can you know
That
they
should
won't work?
not be
Even a partial recovery could give them some peace.
doing that.
To allow them to suffer,
There was a referendum.
Ah, come on.
Weighed the costs involved. They chose the settlement solution.
Sometimes you have to take a screwdriver or something and tuck wires in so you can get it back in its respective place, if you will. So I can go ahead and I can screw this sucker back on because we've got no issues with the electronics. Might have an issue with this hole. Yeah, I'm gonna have to toothpick that hole, which I will just simply do right now. So what I do when I have a hole that's stripped out, why it's stripped out I don't know, but it is. So. Ooh, shish kebabbies. Well, that's because it's chambered. This is a chambered guitar. So I just lost my toothpick in there because it's chambered. Ay, ay, ay.
tell them what you want.
Well, then I'm going to have to wrap the screw with some plumber's tape, just for the aesthetics. Have it back, you know.
I would be willing. As to try
Yeah, come on.
all due respect, you will have to force us. Or at least try.
Come on now. Got the wrong screwdriver, that's why. There we go. I think. Nope. Okay. Hey, come on now. Sometimes you have one of those pick guards that just won't go down, no matter what you do. It was on there a minute ago, wasn't it? There we go. Sometimes you have to be real careful in doing that, so just one of them things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the trouble with these chambered guitars, is the screws get stripped. Oh man. So I'm gonna have to do a little finagling, some plumber's tape. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 screws that are not exactly good, so I'm gonna have to do something about those. So I'm gonna have to go into the shop and get some plumber's tape. Oh. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Go into the shop and get some plumber's tape, and then I can tape those screws up, and I can make them fit a little tighter. Because again, this guitar is chambered, so I can't toothpick the holes and you know, do it that way. So there is that. So okay, plumber's tape. I'll be right back.
Lieutenant, open the priority channel to Starfleet Command now.
Okay, I got my plumber's tape. Unfortunately, the somebody broke my spool. But this is also what I use sometimes. It's also called PTFE tape. Old-timer plumbers call it dope. That's right, they called it dope. That's what my dad used to call it, dope. But you wrap your screw, and I gotta go get the other screw, so hold that thought.
I never even touched him. That was the beauty of it. You just sat there for, what, 3 hours? 4. And after 4 hours of watching you stare at him, he confessed. I was good, wasn't I? You were brilliant. Afterwards, he just kept saying, his eyes, his eyes.
Okay.
I missed you, Ethan.
Okay, so I got the other screw out of his case. And I'll show you the strap locks. This is called a strap lock. It's spring loaded. And unlike a traditional guitar strap button, where you have to kind of finagle the slot over the strap button, this one you take the strap buttons, factory ones, off, and it's kind of reminiscent of a air compressor line coupler, if you will. He says these keep popping off, so I'm gonna fix those for him. He said I didn't have to bother with that, but I'll throw that in as a little extra. Okay, so what you do is you take your screw and you take some of this dope, as my dad used to call it. You wrap it and wrap it. And what you're doing is you're kind of making the threads a little thicker, if you will. And when it comes to this stuff, these come in different thicknesses and types. This is the thin one. But in this case, more is more. So, finagle it a little bit, and I should be able to fit it in the hole better. And that'll kind of keep the screw from flopping around. I mean, it won't be perfect, but it'll be something. So this one I'm going to wrap like I did the other one.
No wonder the Romulans can't conquer the galaxy. No one can stomach their cuisine. Allow me to introduce myself.
And I put quite a bit on there.
What is his role to be in this operation? He will do whatever I require of him, even as a cherished colleague of long standing. He will not enter the bridge or any other secured space aboard this ship unescorted. If you do so, you will be killed.
All right, Jason here. I'm afraid the Colonel believes in wasting little time on pleasantries or idle conversation.
The fleet is recloaked and is about to set course for the Founder's homeworld at Warp 6.
Warp 6? That's a bit slow, isn't it? Something wrong with your engine?
If we travel any faster,
So you're not trying to go for major thread fixing or for major, you know, refabbing of it. You're just trying to make it a little better.
I want you to explain to Otto that it would be everyone's best.
Yeah, it's not working as well as I want it to. And for this one's fine, but the other one here is not cooperating as much. I'm going to wrap it a little more.
I don't believe you, Garrick. And I doubt I'll believe much of what you have to say from now on, so save us both some trouble and leave me alone.
Why, Constable, you seem positively disappointed in me. Well, I suppose it's understandable. After all, I did pledge my undying devotion and eternal allegiance to both you and the Federation. And you and I have been through so much together. She had many experiences, and I know...
So this is just kind of a patch because this guitar is chambered. So the wood that the screw is going through is not even about 1/8 of an inch thick. A little less than 1/4 inch thick, actually.
I don't need to justify anything to you. Living on deep space.
There we go. I think we're getting a bite on it now. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So far so good. We used the tape dope. And now I guess I'll just polish the pickup. In fact, I'm gonna put the pickup adjustment all the way up so I can adjust the sides. Okay. Ah, come on now. Okay. Well, we're a little longer on this video than I wanted to go, but sometimes that's the way. It's 1 hour and 9 minutes. It's actually not too bad. A couple of minutes ago I was figuring this was going to go 1.5 hours. And it may still will, just because I got to finish the setup on it. So. But we're doing pretty good. And I did pretty much expect to work on this guitar for like 3-4 hours because of the issue he said he was having with it. Nice. Now I'll polish the pick guard. And then the top of the headstock. And then put the strings back on and then do the sides and back. The reason I'm doing it that way is because I don't want these strings to flop around because they're back-fed strings. And if I flip it over, it might scratch the surface of the guitar. So I don't want to do that. Nice looking guitar though, I will say that. You want to go a little bit at a time, otherwise the pickup will bind. You don't want to do all one side and then try and do the other side, because you'll find in a lot of cases, not all cases, but a lot of cases, the pickup will bind, and then you might crack the pick guard, you might cause damage, you might break a spring, crack a pickup foundation. These don't have springs in them, they have silicone tubes in replace of springs, which a lot of companies are doing now because they're finding it's cheaper than to make spring steel springs and put them in their guitars. So
If you do decide to go, the award will be found at 15:30 hours. This next.
So, yeah, okay, so we'll go ahead and polish the top of the pick guard, or I mean the top of the headstock, I'm sorry. Lost my train of thought for a split second there. Pretty good, so. You don't need to know that. No. You don't know. Okay. Sorry, I was getting off the beaten path with a thought. My mind wandered for a second there, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll just go ahead and restring her. Just do one string at a time and you'll be golden.
The cloaking device is operating within normal parameters.
Set course for the Founder's homeworld. Warp 8. We know that the Founder's planet lies at approximately these coordinates within the Omarian Nebula. As you can see, there are no
Okay, two more left.
This means that even if the Founders did send out a distress call, it would take at least 7 hours for any help to arrive. Our plan is to wait until we've entered orbit of the Founder's planet, then decloak and begin massive bombardment. Computer analysis indicates that the planet's crust will be destroyed within 1 hour.
Okay.
No, that should more than take care of the Founders.
Yes, it should. Unless they have some planetary defenses we don't know about. There is one person here who might answer that question. Mr. Odo.
Anything he knows about the Founders and their planet was undoubtedly included in his report to Starfleet. The Constable is remarkably thorough in these matters.
There was a time when you were eager to begin an interrogation of them. In fact, I remember having to restrain your enthusiasm on several occasions.
And you should also remember the pride I took in my work. I don't think that interrogating someone who can alter their form at will is likely to provide either amusement or information.
I wouldn't worry about Mr. Odo's shape-shifting if I were you. The Obsidian Order has developed a device which should prove quite effective in neutralizing him. I was not informed about this device. It's only a prototype. We've never had a chance to test it until now. Perhaps the Tau Shiar should take over the interrogation of the changeling.
No,
It's all right, Garrick. It's my fault. I should have known you developed feelings for these people you've been living with for the past few years. But I just never expected that you would become friends with someone who worked for the Bajorans.
this has nothing to do with my friends or my feelings. I simply don't believe he has the information you want.
Possibly.
Okay. Now we'll tighten the strings back up a little bit, just so that way when I turn it over, they don't flop out of their respective holes.
And I think we both know that you won't trust me until I do.
All right. I look forward to hearing your results. What kind of fluctuation?
I don't know. I can't
Full scan, Lieutenant. Are there any other ships in the area?
No, nothing in sensor range. Commander, the Gem Hadash airport were deployed.
We'll have to
5 days straight, from 11 to 8, there's work with Nash Bridges, House, Jag, Monk, and Numbers. Okay, get it? Got it? So clock into the day shift, Monday through Friday, starting at 11:10 Central, right here on HNI.
No. Hello.
Well, that's not the way it's supposed to.
Auto insurance choice of payment due date and immediate proof of insurance.
I have to take this one back out and redo the.
Reese's Pieces over. Introducing new Hershey's Milk Chocolate.
You have a foundation of strong values. You belong where your passions come to life. University's online degree program in cybersecurity keeps you moving toward the goal of keeping your community safe. GCE teaches you how to secure and protect the virtual environment. Join the growing field of cybersecurity.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Because you're irritated. Actually, you do. Harmful bacteria lurk just below the gun line.
New Quest Gum Detoxify works below the gun line to neutralize harmful plaque bacteria and help reverse early gum damage. Gum Detoxify from Crest.
We have our customers.
Okay. Okay, we're not trying to tune it or anything, so.
It's the ease of getting the phone, using the phone, and for people of our generation, that's really important because we're not always
Okay.
choose a phone that fits your needs. Consumer Cellular checks to make sure the plan fits you, who you are. I try to be honest and trustworthy, and I also think Consumer Cellular works that way as a company. I trust them. They share the same
We've
values.
been going an hour and a half, so
Wireless service.
I
Switch
didn't
to
want to go this long.
start saving.
Once I found out there was no issue with the electronics, but that's okay. We're having fun sitting here,
I get a discount through AARP.
jibber jabbering and
AARP members get exclusive
doing guitars.
customer service is fabulous.
Customers are their number one priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
There's not another provider in the industry that has the customer service that Consumer Cellular does.
We're proud to receive the JD Power Award for highest customer service 5 times in a row. It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number. Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular. Go with Consumer Cellular. Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-853-1372. Go online or visit a
Yeah, it's a shame about all the little nicks from the strap locks. That really sucks. I'd be pissed at myself too. I mean, I can lighten them up, polishing them, but a nick is a nick is a nick. You really can't do anything about it.
The Detrium compositor on the cloaking device has been sabotaged. I was under orders from Admiral Cotton to stop you from resuming the battlefield, please. Sitting ducks for the together. Get to the defender. I didn't damage any of the ship's weapon systems or the engines. But without the cloak, we'll have to return to DS9. I'm sorry, Commander, I didn't want to do this. What was my gun too, but I report directly to Admiral Todman, and he gave me an explicit order to participate.
Now that we know that the problem is in the Tetrium,
Okay.
we can fix it.
Grab a fresh soda and maybe I'll grab a juice this time, I don't know. And another cookie or something. I'll be right back.
If we run into the Jabadar, you're still going to need a chief security officer,
What makes you think we'll trust you again?
because I give you my word.
I make it a policy to never question the word of anyone who wears that uniform. Don't make me change that policy. Man your station, Commander. But I'd stay out of the chief's way if I were you.
I realize it must be nearly time for you to return to your liquid state, so I thought I'd bring you something to relax in.
forgot that I had made pudding yesterday, so anybody ever have these old style tumblers from the 50s, 60s? And then I got pistachio pudding, one of my favorite things on the face of the planet. Face of the planet. I could eat pistachio pudding by the gallon. Sorry, folks. Hearing my ums and ahs. I had somebody the other week said, I really shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff on live stream. I said, you should edit your live streams. Well, how the hell do you edit a live stream? It's a live stream. You can't edit a live stream. And I don't want to make these as a video because I like the chat interaction and whatnot. Plus, if I have a 3 or 4 hour video, you know, that could be a gig. That could take half a night to upload, or several hours to upload. I'm not going to do that. Somebody took a little bit of an issue of me eating on cam, which technically I'm really not eating on cam. You guys aren't seeing me or watching me eat. So it was kind of a little bit of a strange comment from the person. And it turned out the person was from another chat room, another channel that I am a staunch supporter of. And they came over here to just try and cause drama. And I was like, oh, okay, I know who you are. You're just here to hiff and haw and cause a problem. I see. A hater. It was a hater. And they were just kind of like, oh, you shouldn't do that. I'm all like, well, okay, what should I do then? You tell me. Oh, edit your live videos. Anyway, I don't care. That's kind of the beauty of a live video. You know, you're interacting. This isn't my first rodeo. I've been doing live streams since like 2007. I was one of the first people to do live streams on another platform. So I'm not new to live streaming. I see an issue that I didn't tuck a wire in all the way, so I'll have to fix that here in a second. So yeah, you know, some people just want to cause drama. They want conflama, what I like to call conflama. Conflict and drama, conflama. So, yeah. I didn't get angry at the person or anything. When they came in chat, I was just like, well, it's a live stream. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, let me tuck that wire back in. Do it now while I'm thinking about it, because there we go. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So now I got my fingerprints on it, so I'm gonna have to. Okay. Okay, now we're better. Now I can do the crotches. My famous crotches, remember, folks? So, yeah, cool guitar, you know, I like it.
Understanding all the options, let's face it, it can be downright confusing. And that's why I love Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. They search thousands of plans from leading insurance companies to find a plan that's right for you. Plans that have prescription drug coverage, dental and vision care, and that offer extra benefits you may not even know are available. Some plans may eliminate your out-of-pocket costs, like copay.
Okay, it's looking pretty good.
With no monthly premium. They can find you a plan to let you keep your doctors.
Now we'll do the back of the neck, back of the headstock and tuners. And we'll be golden. I'm going to have a little more on my pudding.
They work to help you, and they do it all for free. Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Stackhouse. It's a new military year, and that means more changes and more confusion. Many people may worry about the high cost of medical care and prescription
My
drugs.
pudding.
The key to maintaining
I'm having pudding.
money on your healthcare costs is finding the
Pudding
right
and
plan.
pie.
Don't go it alone. Make sure to explore all of your options to find the right plan for your needs. Having helped enroll people in millions of policies with an A+ customer satisfaction rating, you can trust it. You can enroll today. So call Health Markets now for free help. It's easy to find a Medicare plan.
Okay.
You can enjoy more of the things you love. Your insurance marketplace at Health Markets.
Call now to take advantage of this free service. Now is the time to update your coverage or enroll for the first time. Call Health Markets now. Call 1-800-411.
Gotta get my little tool, my little stick rather.
Call now.
I know it's hard, Maddie, but I promise it's gonna get better.
You want to win big money? It's the new Publishers Clearinghouse Forever prize. $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, somebody gets $5,000 a week for their life. Answer
Yeah.
on February 28th. Win forever. If you suffer from muscle cramps in your legs and feet, their work relieves can help. Daily application. This fast-acting foam is clinically
Not bad for a made in Mexico guitar.
I think muscle pains for as long as I can.
I don't balk at the quality of the made in Mexico ones like I used to.
Thing in my entire life
You know,
is actually work.
15, 20 years ago. To me, back then, they were just kind of a mediocre guitar. Now I think they're pretty good. They've risen the quality on them pretty good the past few years.
souvenir of your handiwork.
You know, so I'm pretty happy with the way they came out of Mexico now. Who'd have thunk, you know?
He never broke. Well, that's unfortunate. I see no further use for Mr. Otto. Terminate him.
On the other hand, he is a member of the Bajoran militia and an officer on Deep Space Nine.
back of the guitar. Looks pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. What else? Well, nothing else really for now. I can put the knobs back.
Sensors show multiple life forms on the surface. They appear to be in a liquid state.
Signal the fleet to charge weapons and lock onto their targets. We will open fire the moment we drop our cloaks.
All ships report ready. All weapons charged.
So much for the Dominion. Open fire.
The first barrage is complete.
Effect.
30% of planetary crops destroyed an opening bomb. No change in life form readings.
What? That's impossible. Some of them had to be killed.
Our sensor readings have been confirmed by 3 other warbirds. There's no change in the number of life signs on the surface.
They're using an automated transponder to send back false sensor reading. The planet is deserted.
Colonel, signal the fleet to
Colonel, there are ships coming out of the nebula.
what type of ships?
Gemini miners.
How many? I asked you a question.
150.
Well, that ain't cool. I'm gonna finish my pudding and then we'll finish the guitar.
Feeling a little bored? Fun will now commence. Get ready for a little fun and action. Star Trek Voyager is coming up next. Part of all Star Trek.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I've learned what I like and what I don't. I like my coffee strong, my eggs scrambled, and my playlist, good old rock and roll. You know what I don't want? The way most wireless companies charge so much, so I switched to consumer cellular.
I've got a certain way I like things. More heat. I like consumer cellular. We get reliable coverage and the bill is half what it used to be.
Because now we share a plan. Consumer cellular has everything I like. For just $25 a month, I get unlimited talk and text. And a flexible data plan means I only pay for what I need. They've been an approved ARP provider since 2008, offering exclusive
Boom. That's how fast I eat pudding.
plans start as low as $15 a month with no
Over the years, we've grown what we like and how we like it. That's why we're with consumer cellular.
They have some of the most satisfied customers.
We're two of them. Make that three.
Consumer Cellular has received a JCO award for highest customer service 5 times in a row. Switch today. Satisfaction guaranteed. Risk-free for 30 days.
Okay.
She's got a sweet tooth.
When it comes to wireless, I like to talk.
Okay. What next? Well, I guess we can start on the
Texting extra sun here.
With a flexible data plan that fits us.
start on the setup.
Okay, see you soon.
We'll plug this pig back in. Let's see if we have the static issue. Not that we had it before, but
Switch today. Call 1-800-918-6059. Find us at Target.
let me set up that pickup height a little higher. A little more aggressive sound. Okay, now we'll do the pickup height, the action height, string height. For me, it's a little high, so I'm gonna adjust it a little. Okay, let's see how that is. To lower the pickup height on the back pickup. up a little bit.
Direct hit on their fort itself. To lose its speed. We're out of the range.
Any other signs of pursuit?
Negative. The other fighters are still concentrating on the remaining Romulan and Cardassian ships.
Let's not wait around for the containers nearby.
Of course they did.
Engage. There's still no indication that any Romulan or Cardassian vessels survived the attack. Sounds like Wolf 3.
Okay.
You may be interested to know I've decided not to file charges against anyone who committed the crime. Thank you, sir. But if you pull a stunt like that again, I'll court-martial you or I'll promote you. Either way, you'll be in a lot of trouble. I'll keep that in mind, sir.
Next on H&I. Star Trek Voyager. Followed by Enterprise. Then NYPD Blue. Right here on H&I. This is not an attack. This is a personal trainer being called.
Get this party started!
A trainer that moves you your way. The Free Straight Trainer from NordicTrack is 3 machines in one. A stepper pad, a treadmill, plus an elliptical.
Lengthen your stride. It should feel great.
Okay, we're getting there. And we'll do the intonation last.
Keeping you at the center of the party. All it takes is a touch. touchofmodern.com.
I just read
Okay. Now we're done with string height, action height. Now we will do intonation.
mentioning my desire to return to my people.
I consider the entire conversation as something best forgotten.
As do I. Klassic's friend and interest in renting this space if you're not going to be using it. He mentioned something about an Argelian massage facility.
Pretty good on the intonation. Intonation.
Do you know what the sad part is, Hotel? Very good tape.
I was thinking that you and I should have breakfast together sometime.
My constable. I thought you didn't eat.
I don't.
that's it. Done. Yeah, the issue that he said he had with the static is non-existent. So I think it's probably his cable or his amp. But I did a full setup on it anyway. Cleaned it up. Cleaned the contacts on the three-way switch. Oiled the shafts on the volume and tone knob. I tightened up the jack. Tightened up all the nuts, bolts, screws, and washers in the guitar. I took this into the shop and air blew this hole out. It was full of dust. So blew that out. Adjusted the truss rod. Put a full setup on it. Now it plays perfect, as you can clearly hear. That was me. So I think that is it. Now we will commence. See what we can do on these strap locks. And then go from there. Guitar is perfectly intonated and tuned and everything else. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh. Okay, strap locks. Let's just try the first one, I guess. Strap locks. Take these strap locks off pretty easily just by unscrewing the tops of them. Sometimes they're a little rough, so you gotta kind of finagle it a little, if you will.
This kind of speculation can be intriguing, but be careful about setting yourselves up to be disappointed.
I'm just happy my folks know I'm alive.
I imagine there were quite a few celebrations when people got the news.
You just pry the thing up, and then
I guess a lot of people have given
you can take off the...
morning, gone on with their lives, found some kind of resolution. Now they get word that we're alive, but so far away that we might as well be dead. Some people might feel that way.
Okay, let's see if we can finagle this a little. See if there's any issue with it, with the spring, or the snap ring, or the ball bearings. 1, 2, 3, it's a 5-ball bearing. That one seems fine.
You were supposed to report to sick bay this morning for your weekly checkup.
Here, doing my job.
And just what is this pressing task?
I'm trying to retrieve more of the message transmitted from Starfleet Command.
Your devotion to duty is admirable, but you must remember that your implants have to be monitored regularly. No, you're not.
Yeah, this one seems a little more smooth to get on and off. The other one, the bottom one, seems a little less. Yeah, I guess it's... Let me see if I can adjust the snap ring a little.
Text, that makes 6.
6 words in 58 hours? Would it be more efficient just to wait until we arrive?
Tighten that snap ring up a little bit more. See if that finagles it a little more. A little more better, if you will. There we go. There we go. It's supposed to be freewheeling like this, kind of. Oh, yeah. Gotta put them on straight though and take them off straight. If you try and do them crooked, they can kind of bond up a little bit. They seem fine to me now. Let's do the other one.
For the disturbance, we should be all right. Listen to your
Okay, that seems better. I'll put it on straight. You gotta take it off straight. I'm trying not to get my fingerprints on my freshly polished body. That's why I'm having a little more. Tighten the snap ring up a little bit more. There we go. I think that'll do the trick, if you will. Go ahead and put the strap locks back on, because
I've seen this before. The board encountered a small ship of species 5174. They were also destroyed in this fashion.
Did you ever determine who did it and why?
No, it was irrelevant.
Return the body to his ship. His people may be able to retrieve him.
Very well.
When we get closer to the station,
yeah.
we can use the data processors and astrometrics to download the message.
Yes, Captain.
Strap locks. I'm not much of a strap lock guy. I mean, got guitars. I got lots of guitars with strap locks on. And there's the kind that grabs on the outside, and there's the kind that grabs on the inside. I think I got one that grabs on the inside here. See, it's a little bit different. It grabs on the inside like that, rather than grabs on the outside. So you have two different types, and usually the strap lock button will accept either kind of strap lock. See, but he has the kind that's like I said, like the air compressor. Mohickey air compressor coupler. So, okay, I want to make sure you're putting them on the right side. So.
We're as close as we're going to be able to get.
okay. We'll see if we can download the message from
So
here.
I think that's about it. I mean, okay, so let's try it again. Yeah. Well, there we go. All golden on the strap lock. So I think he'll be happy about that issue being quelled for the most part, I think. So there you have it.
Witness each of our weekday dramas as they make a run every Sunday in one glorious 5-hour block of TV. It's Nash, House, Jag, Monk, and Numbers.
Okay, fine, good. More the merrier. I hope I made enough cookies.
The Sunday Shift, every Sunday starting at noon, 11 Central, right here on HNI.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm pretty much done. We'll sit here for a little while longer and chit-chat. Maybe I'll kind of second polish. There's a little thing I could polish right here too. Sometimes when you sit down, you see a little area you can repolish again. So I will do that. So again, this is a Fender Telecaster, 1969 reissue, and that's what it is. Solid well, not solid mahogany. It's the body is chambered, so it's really light guitar. I mean, it's really light. I actually have several of these, and they're pretty cool guitars. I actually have more than several, but you get the drift.
Some starting at only 4 minutes, all designed to help you become stronger, fitter, and healthier for the ones you love and the things you love to do. I am Max on the new Bowflex Max Trainer. Learn more at Bowflex.com, where the New Year sale is happening now.
You'll be the official mail carrier meeting, so get them as quickly as we can download them. This is as close as they've come to their families in almost 4 years. By the time you deliver them, we should have more.
Captain, I've discovered something odd. There seems to be more here than just letters. What do you mean? There's a latent date buried under the message.
Okay. We're pretty much done with the guitar. Again, this is a Fender Telecaster, 1969 reissue. That's what it is. It's like a thin line. I think it's a 2000. I think it's a 2001 or something. That's what the serial number looks like. So it's fairly old. I mean, it's not old, antique old or anything, but it's got some age to it. So, yeah. There we are on this. I think it came out pretty good. He said that he had an issue with static. He plugged it in and he said everything's static. He went this. He went like that and said everything's static. And he made the noise. He said everything's static. Yet when I plug it in here, no static, nothing. So I think that was probably an issue with his amp or his cable or something at home, because I got no static here. And I will have to make a point to hook it up to an amp when he gets here. And, you know, then I can prove that to him and say, the issue is on your end. And, yeah. Pretty neat guitar. I like it. Hopefully, he said he was interested in buying one of my Telecasters that I have for sale, so hopefully he buys one. That would be nice. I would even take this Telecaster as a trade-in. You know, I do trade-ins. So if he wanted to do a trade-in, he could. Unless he's just like in love with this guitar. I kind of got the feeling that he likes it, but he's not like in love with it or anything. So I don't know. We'll see. Not that I'm trying to get it from him or anything, but if at some point he decides he wants to buy one of mine, straight out, or if he wants to do this as a part trade-in, he can. This guitar isn't worth a whole lot of money. It is just a made in Mexico one. I'd probably give him I don't know, I'd probably give him like a $350 trade-in value for it, maybe $400 tops. Only thing I don't like about the guitar is these 3 screws were stripped. The holes were stripped out. It's because the the guitar is chambered, and so the top layer of mahogany is not even 1/4 of an inch thick. It's like just under 1/4 of an inch thick. It's not very thick at all. In fact, I could give me a minute and I'll tell you exactly how thick it is. Get out my trusty Mohickie here. Battery's low. Let's see, we'll go inch. See if I can get my calipers in there, I'll be able to tell you how thick it is. So it's basically, okay. It's basically like 5.5 millimeters thick. Yeah. Yeah, like 5.5 millimeter. I don't think it's 6. Let me just stick my calipers in there again. No. It is. Ooh, I don't want to get my calipers stuck in there. Or maybe it is now. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much. It's, yeah. Well, yeah, almost 6. Between 5.5, depending on where you measure it at. It's 5.5 to 6 millimeters thick. So, anyway, that's not very thick. So you're trying to put a screw into it, and if the hole gets stripped out or rounded out, then you're going to have a hard time putting a screw in it. And you can't put a bigger screw in it because, for one thing, that wouldn't be right, and for second, it just wouldn't work. Looks wise, I mean, if you didn't care to have a bigger screw there, you could put a bigger screw there. And you can't do the toothpick trick, so that's kind of out of the question to do the toothpick trick. So you can't do that. So I did my plumber's tape trick, and that worked. So.
Everyone except us is dead.
Just about. Sveta and a few lucky ones are in prison.
So again, this guitar is a Fender Telecaster, made in Mexico. Fender Telecaster, 1969 reissue. Unlike most Telecasters, it has almost a full pick guard instead of just a mount plate for the electronics that kind of go right here. He said he was having problems with static, so I did take the pick guard off and flip it over, check out all the solder connections were fine. I oiled the shafts of the pots, and I cleaned the contacts on the three-way switch just for the sake of doing it, because when I plugged the guitar in, as you guys saw, there was no static issue at all in any way, shape, or form. So that leads me to believe that it's an issue with his amp and or cable and or equipment. I'm probably going to end this video pretty quick here because since the guitar's done, so I think we will conclude. I don't think I'm going to start on the other project. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. 'Cause I have another guitar that I need to do for another customer. suppose I could do that. Start on that. Get a head start on it, maybe. I don't know. See how I feel after this video.
Ashmore. Dorado. There's not gonna be one for me. He's not done yet. Hang on. And finally, Parsons. I'm sorry if your name hasn't come up, but Shannon is still working.
Felix, I thought you had over 30 letters.
30? Why did you hear that?
That's what was going around.
Don't pay any attention to rumors.
Oh, sorry about the noise.
You shouldn't get your hopes up, Harry. No hopes, no disappointments. I'm not you.
So, yeah, it's a pretty nice guitar. I think I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video.
If we get near enough, we could try to stabilize the containment field.
So thank you everyone for joining me on this classic guitar video. This is a customer's guitar. It is a made in Mexico Fender Telecaster, 1969 reissue. So it's all ready to go back to the customer tomorrow. He can pick it up, and he said he's going to drop me off a Telecaster bass that has a ground issue. So we'll see if he brings me that tomorrow when he picks this guitar up. And thank you for watching this video, and we will see you next time. Thank you.